Hello and welcome back to the Alteryx Weekly Challenge. Me, Nick Bignell. This is challenge number 84, and we're looking at Hurricane Harvey's direction, travel, whenever it was, 2017. So we have, I think we're just supposed to looking at this. We're basically supposed to map out the route that the hurricane took, and it started off as something called Invest, and then became 9, and then became Harvey by the looks of this data. Now what we have to do is from the National Hurricane, it contains data on the storm's path, the storm reach, direction and intensity. Construct a line segment for each of the changes in storm type. Okay, so let's just run this and see what we've got. For each line segment, calculate the storm's average intensity. So what we want is segment is 1 to 10, storm type, these 2-letter things, and then an average intensity of each one, and then a line. And if we click on each of them, okay, right, we've got a section of this line. Okay, so we have storm type here, we have our intensity, and then we have a spatial object. Now what we have, so it's this storm type that we want to look at, isn't it? So I'm thinking that we can generate a number based on the storm type, because I see earlier. Yeah, so TS appears twice, so we can't just categorize them by this because it appears twice. And there'll be a separate segment, I guess, of the storm. So what I'm thinking here is we simply do a multi-row formula, okay, and we'll call it segment. So we'll create the segments of this, and we'll want to do a condition, because what we want to tell is where this changes from one thing to another. So here it changes from dB to LO. So if we do a conditional, let's just bring in the variables. So we want to get on the same storm type equals on the next row up storm type, then we just want to take the segment above. Else we want to take the segment above and add 1. That should give us a segment. Yeah, so it gives us a segment per storm type. To 1 to 10. Okay, so that would be the 10. Now what we can do is in Spatial we can use a poly build to then bring that all together. So we want a line, spatial object, and we want to group it by the segment. Okay. Okay, so that gives us. Let's just bring in a browse so we can see. Okay, it's not quite right. We've got some nulls in there, which. So let's give ourselves a map. Use it's the Alteryx Lite one that we're using on here. Yeah. Okay, but we've got some gaps here. We've got a gap, so we need to fill. So I'm assuming these are the gap. Yeah. Okay, these are the gaps between the segments, and this one's missing altogether. So because I think we only have 1 point for that. So what we need to do is extend the lines to meet in the middle, right? So I think the way we do that, one way we could do it is when this changes, we could mark it and then duplicate this line. So we've got so it joins, but put it in the segment above. I'll show you what I mean. I think so. Let's move that out the way because we need a bit of space, I think, because we need to do another multi-row formula, and I think we'll move it down here because we're going to join this in, and we want to connection. I think we want to see another if statement, and it's simply if, which one is it? So if the segment equals the segment above, then we want to put no, because it doesn't. It's not a new line. It's not a different. It's not a different segment. But if it doesn't, then it'll be a yes. Okay, so if we run that, oh, it doesn't like that because it's an integer. Change it to a string. Okay, and then run. Okay, there we have yes, 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 yes. So let's filter on just the yeses so we can deal with them. Connection equals yes. Because see, we need to connect between the segments. Okay, so we're going to use these 10. Now the first one we don't need, so we can just sample tool that out. So skip the first row, skip first row. I suppose it might not matter if it's there. It will be segment 0 on the thing. And then what we want to do is simply do a formula where we add it to the previous. So the segment we add it to is segment -1, because we also want to add it to the previous segment. Okay, so that then gives us 1 to 9 of the previous. We can get rid of the connection bit now. So let's get rid of that, and then what we can do, let's move this along a bit, is join these up. So let's take the original data set and the new data set, and we run that. Okay, so now we have all the data, it's rendering it, and there we have all the segments joined up nicely to it. So that's one part of the data. There, we're done. So now we need to bring in these other two. So we can let's leave that here for now. What we need to calculate is the storm type, and so we have that here. We have the storm type, so we can just summarize on that, and we want what's the other bit of data? The segment, the storm type, and then the average intensity. So let's use a summarize tool. We can bring that from here, and we want got the summarize tool. We want to what we want is the segment. So group by that. We want the storm type, so group by that, and then we want the average intensity. So if we take the average, now what's this field actually called? Average intensity. Okay. Space, I think, rather than underscore. Okay. And then what we can simply do is join that back into here. Bring that in. And then join it on the segment. We don't need the right segment. And then this spatial object we want at the last. Okay, and we run that. What do we get? So we've got double. Why are we duplicating things? Oh, because of those extra rows I put in here, because they're a different storm type. So actually, what I want to do is we need to also create another one of these which changes the storm type. Is that right? We've got we need to do this before we do that. I know what we can do. We can take that and we can bring it in from here so that we don't have that information. Oh no, we can bring it in from the beginning. Bring it in from here. Okay, right, let's try that then. Is that better? Slightly better, but we have a different number. So segment, it's called segment number for a start. Okay, so segment number, and then what's the other difference? So there's some differences here with the way that it's calculating the average. So that's why is it calculating it differently? Some of them are the same. So is it average? Different average. So for this segment, it's all 35. So all 35 for this segment here. So the average should be 35, which I've got here. So why is it 34.444? I don't get that. This is 38. For 8, it's 38.333. Okay, so for segment 8, which is just these two, and the intensity is 60 and 40. So by my reckoning, that's an average of 50. So I'm going to say that I'm correct there. That's a bit weird. But I'm going to call it on that's right. Unless I misunderstood the meaning of average. Alright, could be possible. I am very average after all. Anyway, okay, I've just looked at some of the solutions because it was really bugging me on why this number. But looking at Jamie Lard's one, he's got the same numbers as me, so I'm gonna go with that. I'm good. Cool. Thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.